all these are within the purview of what His Excellency can accommodate, because the intention for setting up the committee is not negative, it's a positive action to ensure that any gray area is sorted out. So what I will say is this. The committee was set up yesterday. His Excellency will look into any other possibility that can fast track the work of the committee, because the intention is not negative. The intention is, you see, when you are setting up a university, we don't want a institution by tomorrow. We'll be looking back and say, oh, we should have done A, B, C. So if there are external reports that we don't have, we didn't have proper handing over. Nobody briefed us on anything. We enter in the dark. Now, if there are those reports, as mentioned by Chief, now the committee will look into it, and His Excellency is open to any ideas that can ensure sustainable takeoff of the university.
All right. Can you please take us through a step-by-step guide of what we are to expect from this committee in the coming 6 weeks?
You said?
Can you take us through a guide of what we are to expect from this committee in the next 6 weeks?
Yes, now if you look at the terms of reference, so, and incidentally, we have a very tested academic administrator and actor, Professor Shaolu, as the chairman. We also have distinguished, highly qualified members of the panel, of the committee, who will do justice. So what you will expect is that from terms of reference 1 to the last, the committee will dig into any existing and whatever report, and they will also look to best practices. So in terms of fulfilling the mandate or given by His Excellency. So we should expect a very robust committee work, and the committee will also reach out to stakeholders, just like you have in item 4 or item 5. The committee will consult stakeholders, unions, the community, the academic side, and all of that, so that at the end of the day, you can be sure the committee will have a total view of what is happening and what can be done and how best to move forward.
All right.
Yeah, so back to the letter from Asiwaju Fashoyi now. He's saying from the letter that most of the things that the governor is asking the committee to do have already been done. All phasing out faculties and courses on the issue of trade union assets. He even made reference to the fact that the government already has an asset committee to review the assets and liabilities of all MDAs in the state, and that the SY College of Education, Ilesha, was covered in that statewide exercise, and that there will not be a need to start another fresh review again. How do you respond to that?
You see, I've answered this question. What Chief Fashoyi is proposing is also in the best interest of the government. He's calling attention of the government to reports that we were not aware of before. The previous government didn't do proper briefing. Our other committee that was set up, that was referred to, has a bigger mandate, which is not restricted to one institution. And we have several agencies in Osun. The reason for picking up University of Ilesha is because it's a very critical project for this government. And if you read what His Excellency said yesterday, he said he has been very passionate about this matter of University of Ilesha, because our leaders, great supporters of His Excellency, are mostly from Ijesha land. So what I'm saying is that Chief has not said anything out of order. And what the government has also done is not out of order. If there are things that has been done, they will not get properly harmonized under that Professor Shaolu's committee. And if the committee is advocating for reducing the time, the date, the duration of the committee will have their forcity either today or tomorrow, and the committee will look into it. If the job can be done under 1 week, why not? But the Excellency has no hidden motive. The most important thing is to ensure that things that we thought are not done properly are done properly. And that's why the committee was not peopled by politicians. You can see you have great administrators there who will work dispassionately and present a report that will ensure that eventually the governor can act quickly to satisfy the will of the Ijesha people.
All right, thank you very much. But before I let you go, I'd like you to quickly, for the sake of our viewers and listeners, there's another topic, there's another issue I'd like you to just briefly touch on, and that's the issue of the park management. Can you explain what the governor has done with his directive on Monday?
Now, if you also read through our press statement, it was very explicit. Across Osun, you agree with me that our parks and transport system are largely disorganized. There is no proper model from Ilesha to Ife to Iwo to Ila and even the state capital. So there is a new model, a transport management model. The intention is to ensure that, one, our parks are safe and secured, that our parks are not a breeding ground for thugs and miscreants, then to also use that avenue to generate jobs for our people, and lastly, to ensure that the IGR of the state internally generated revenue will increase. So these are the triple motives, objectives for setting up the new transport model. And unlike any other transport model you have in the country, we now have a disciplinary committee, that's like a board. And the board, unlike any other place, is people not just by transport stakeholders alone, but by senior citizens who will also be able to review operations of the field officers across the park. And the system is one of it's an improvement on what you have in Lagos and Ibadan, which had higher started the project. So the whole goal is to sanitize our transport system in Osun.
So what becomes of the former bodies like the NURTW? Would they be incorporated into this new system?
Yes, if you check through our release, you discover that in fact 99.9% of the present union workers will be inside. You get it. The intention is not, nobody has talked about disbanding anything. That's why our press statement didn't mention.
Okay, so to be very clear, you are not disbanding any union at the moment.
You see, I see the value to the press statement. You know, we specifically said is that the unions and the union workers will be involved up to 99.9%. That's to tell you that we are not interested in tampering with any structure. What we are interested in is, one, we want a new management model. And that's why we have to level the operators who are in the field, and of course the management board who will be supervising what they are doing to enforce discipline, to ensure that no shortcuts in terms of no shortchanging of government in terms of revenue collection, and to also ensure that we use it as an avenue to upgrade our parks across the state so that the revenue cannot go into development of new transport terminals and all that. It's to modernize Osun transport system.
All right, I'd like to thank you very sincerely for joining us on the program this morning. Malam Olare Rasheed is the spokesperson to Governor Ademola Adeleke of Osun State. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, have a lovely day. Well, that's the first leg of the interview. We will be speaking to a seasoned journalist, an Ijesha Land eminent person who would also be speaking to some of this back and forth between the government and not necessarily between the government now, but some of the actions by the government. And there's a letter from the Asiwaju of Ijesha Land, Asiwaju Yinka Fashuyi, who is saying that some of these things that the governor has asked the committee to do have already been done by the University Project Consultative Committee, and so that would mean that the governor has to shrink the time of the time given to the committee from 6 weeks to at least 2 weeks to ensure that smooth, fast tracking of this process is ensured. And when we come back from this break, we'll bring you our next guest who will also be joining us live on the line from the United Kingdom. Do stay with us.
Arrested, affected, sound, found. What do we see? What do we say? flowing from a spring. A fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Ever expounding current events. Traveling down from the business gist to the globally arising happenings.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be shown on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies.
All right, thank you so much for staying with us on Western Spring Television. Morning Spring is still the program where we're bringing you a conversation around what is happening, or what has happened in Osun State. Just yesterday, Governor Ademola Adeleke inaugurated an ad hoc committee to review some of the parameters and some of the modalities establishing the University of Elisha, which was, of course, a college before it was upgraded to a university. Now we're joined live on the line by an eminent Ijesha land person who is a seasoned media personality to Chief Remi Oyeyemi from the United Kingdom. Good morning, Chief Oyeyemi.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the university itself? How did you receive the news when you saw it in the first place?
Well, everybody knows the University of Elisha project is what all sons and daughters of Elisha land. It is what they want, regardless of political affiliation or religious affiliation or whatever. We are all one in our desire and determination to see the realization of that University of Elisha project. So, whatever anybody is doing, whether in government or outside the government, it is for the realization of that great dream in the Salam.
All right, so now that the university has been established, it was facilitated by the administration of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola. Now we have a new governor in power who seems to want to review some of these things. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, government is a continuum. And if you have a single goal, there could be several approaches to its realization. So, the attempt by Governor Adeleke to have something revealed is not in any way vitiation of what we are trying to achieve. It's just to ensure that everything is done properly. though some of our leaders in the land believe that the time frame will be shortened so that the university will take off as early as possible without any inhibition. But I believe very much that they are working together, and very soon they'll be able to come together, come to the table to review whatever is meant to be reviewed in a way that will not be adaptable to the early take of the university.
So, Chief Oyeyemi, what is your own stand? Do you stand with them that do you agree that this time should be shortened?
Yes, because one to take us as early as possible, and but in dialogue, if we dialogue, it's possible for the two sides to come together and see the issue at stake. What the America is trying to do is to ensure that everything is done properly. Meanwhile, we in the land, we want this university to take us as soon as possible without any obstacle. So, if there are differences, we adapt, there are. But if there are differences, we can only come together in dialogue to ensure that this is done properly without the objective, the purpose being defeated.
Wow, Chief Oyeyemi, the spokesperson to the governor, Malam Olawale Rasheed, has said that the activities of the committee would not in any way affect academic activities of the university. But he has also said that some of the issues raised in the letter from the Asiwaju of Ijesha-land are valid, but because there was no proper interface between the outgone government and the incumbent one, they do not have access to some of these reports that Asiwaju Fashoye has mentioned. Don't you think that's enough justification for the time that was given to the committee, since the PDP now is saying that they do not have access to some of the documents that may have fast-tracked this review?
Yeah, I will not be interested in mentioning names, but I can tell you authoritatively, without any fear of contradiction, that the members of the government, they have what they need. To bridge the communication gap that has been existing before the new government wants it to finish. Yes, if you don't have communication, if you don't have information, you can't possibly do anything. So we can't blame governability with the team for not doing something, because if they're not committed to them, there's no way they can do it. So I'm speaking to you right now, they have all the information they need. And I'm very glad that there is communication going on between the government and the leadership in the land. So if we have minor differences as to the timeline for the profession, that's not a big deal. We'll get things resolved. So it's a good thing that Mr. Olawale Rasheed said that whatever we are doing will not delay the admission of students to the takeoff of the university. It's a good thing to do. But I'm very confident, and I know that all the members of the journalistic and government, they are very sincere, they are very determined to ensure that this thing sees the light of the day. And this is good news to the university of this land. They are also determined to ensure that there is no delay in the dream, in the realization of the dream. So, some information will not be open to the public, but I'm very, very confident that at the point at which we are right now, we are all good to go. Though we have some minor differences, they are not of any obstacle that will disturb or prevent the take-up of the university. So we are still working together, and the couple of, I don't want to say this, we'll be able to harmonize all the bills and the different bills for the university to be able to take up effectively.
All right, so Chief Oyeyemi, what do you make of the 11-man ad hoc, the composition of the 11-man ad hoc staff that was set up by the governor? Do you think that they will deliver on the expectations of the governor in 6 weeks or in 2 weeks, as you are vying for?
Well, it is not fair to assume that those members of the committee are incapable unless you have record to prove to me that any of the members or the majority of the members of that committee are not either intellectually capable to deliver the assignment given to them by government. For the government to be able to isolate those members and put them on that committee, then the government must have done a few diligence. So we should not be circumventing the decision of the government to appoint them. If at the end of the day they do not deliver or meet the expectation of the people, then we have the basis to criticize them. But right now, those people prepare to assume that they cannot deliver and they don't have the ability to deliver. I don't think so. So as far as I'm concerned, if they are good enough, the government identify them, let them go and do their job.
As an Ijesha man, Chief Oyeyemi, what benefits do you see accruing to the land, the Ijesha land, by virtue of it now having a university?
Can you repeat the question again?
As an Ijesha man, what benefits do you see accruing to Ijesha land from the establishment of that university?
Well, that's a fantastic question. The effect of a university establishment, you cannot easily just talk about it in 2 minutes. But for those who understand the way the university works, if we properly handle it the way we have planned, the way we have planned, the advantages are very, very many. Intellectually, economically, and then in terms of physical development, to not just to Ijesha, but to Ijesha land. So we are looking at the university that will be the desire for people to want to work in, for students to want to come in, because it will be a standard bearer for others. People might be saying, what are you guys talking about? There are still other universities. But guess what? This is going to be different by the grace of God. We are very confident of what we have in mind. We are going to work with the government of the state in our capacity to ensure that we achieve this goal.
Okay, so as it is with a new establishment and of course something as enormous as a university, what are some of the bottlenecks that you envisage in terms of sustainability? What are some of the issues, the early teething problems, and of course the long-term problems that you foresee for the running of the university?
Yeah, sustainability is one of the most essential factors in establishing the university. So there are some strategic people that I could not make available to the public. But we have a sustainability plan which the government, the present government is in possession of. They are going to review. We know that the first one of the basics with which we convince Governor Utola, former Governor Utola, that the university will be self-sustaining and the community will be supporting without putting additional burden on the state government. So,
is that feasible?
I'm not really bothered of because we have the plan that is executable to sustain the university. So, but some people can't just put it in the public like that. But we are very confident in the plan, and with the cooperation of the leadership and the state government, I draw cause for that.
Yeah. So part of the letter written by Asiwaju Fashoyi spoke about the fact that many patriotic Ijeshas, both at home, would be worried about the development, considering the implications on the immediate takeoff of the university's academic session, that was supposed to happen on the 14th of January 2023. Do you think that this yesterday's development would also eat into that takeoff of the university?
We have to wait to see. We have to wait to see. I know the constitution of Azuaju is very, very important. So I believe that the efforts of the Adeleke will very concerned. So that's why I told you earlier that there is going to be harmonization of positions to ensure that the take-up of the industry is not delayed in any way. So every party concerned there, they are very sincere. The objectives, the issues that bringing up, they are being brought up so that there can be a smooth take-off. So we should not assume, that somebody is trying to delay or prevent the take-off of the university. Yes, the university is going to complete. It has been established. But if you look at the kinds of questions that Governor Adeleke has given to the committee, you see that they are very, very genuine. But the position of Akinwaju is not different from that of Governor Adeleke. So what we need is just to harmonize to ensure that the concerns of either party are addressed in a very positive way to ensure that our goal is not
All right, there was something you said some minutes ago that I'd like to draw you back to. Because here in Asiwaju's letter again, it says that a major highlight in the university sustainability plan is that the government has said that it will not add, that's the Osun State government, that will not add any extra cover to what it currently appropriates to the former College of Education. Now there's a huge gulf between a College of Education and the university. That gap of finances, how do you think, what are the alternative sources of funding available that you think can be used to bridge it?
Yes, like I told you, I cannot reveal the details of the plan today for the public. But I know that we have a very solid plan to ensure adequate financing. I know we are talking about the kind of investment and we are considering that we are dreaming and we are planning for. You need a lot of funding. We have made a very effective plan. We are taking in place to ensure that we meet this objective. So that our promise to the state government that we don't need to exceed what they are giving to the former College of Education. It's helpful. So, and then our son is better over the world. We have a role to play. But I cannot start talking about the details of the plan right now. The members of the government already have the package that we're supposed to have for the needed. The only point of thinking right now is timeline. When should this committee be withdrawn? Is it 6 weeks or 2 weeks? I told you personally, it's forgetting. That's the very moment when the person is concerned. So we'll come together, discuss this, review it without any assumption that somebody is trying to play a game. No, nobody is playing any game. So this is a very serious matter. We know that it's a very serious matter. We all agree for time limits in the execution of the assignment to the committee by the government. So we knew we have to come together to realign this issue of timeline to ensure that there is no obstacle the university can take off as early as possible. That's just the only thing there.
All right, Chief Oyeyemi. Overall, what are the expectations of Ijesha people of this university in the coming days?
Well, our expectations are not different from any other community. Who wants a good university whereby meritocracy will be the guideline, whereby fairness will be the guideline, whereby people will be treated as human beings, where the workers will be very happy to work out, where the students will really love to be part of. So,
what would be your recommendations to the government and the university body when it kicks off fully?
My recommendations are very, very simple. Where there is justice, there is peace and progress. If anything is done to affect negatively the dispensation of justice to any part of the institution or the stakeholders, it's a great problem. But as long as everything is done fairly, without any bias from either the stakeholders or the state government, there's nothing to be worried about. But I'm very, very confident. When everything is done fairly and there is justice, then there's nothing to be fair to because everybody will feel satisfied and they will be willing to contribute their own quota to the progress of that university. So that's my proposal.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Chief Remi has been speaking to us live from the United Kingdom on the phone, talking about some of the issues surrounding it, and especially...
What do we see? What do we say? Flowing from a spring. A fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Ever expounding current events. Traveling down from the business gist to the globally arising happenings, to the sports news, to the bittersweet infos. Guided transmission, even diffusion, vast and fast, detailed facts are fled. Within seconds, nuggets of words that flew across borders are fired. Stories short and long, wrapped in bundles of words, broken and dissected as it is, except misheard. This is the news as it is.
Turn it up! It's the Wild Wild West, and Western Spring Television is pulling out all the stops to make sure that you don't miss out on every of the fun and happenings around you. Yup, we've got you covered because your girl got all the juiciest tidbits and entertainment news from around the world. Cross over to the chocolatey side of entertainment. Join me, Chocolate Cassie, on Eccentric as we take you into every bit of the juiciest news, fashion, music, movie updates, and other trending conversations. Together on the show, we'll get personal with your favorite celebrities via phone call, Zoom, or even live here in the studio. Eccentric will be shown on your TV screen on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. Adeoye Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
According to the words of Michael Forbes, one who never asks questions either knows everything or nothing. Watch me as I ask the questions you think no one wants to answer. Even questions it appears no one has got the guts to ask. My name is Femi Adefila, and I've got the gut. Let's ask the pertinent questions and watch as we get answers.
Sports is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. And talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
All right, good morning and welcome to the show this morning. Spring Trends is what you're watching on Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. My name is Emmanuel Ujadigele. Thank you so much for joining us on the program this morning. Of course, you know what we do here. We bring you who is trending, what is trending, why they are trending, and what people are saying about the who, the what, and the why. We'd like to start straight away. Yesterday in Anambra State, there was the introduction of a new band. If you're familiar with the political scene, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State has a band, a music band, that he always uses whenever he's giving his political speeches. But there was the unveiling of a new band in Anambra yesterday at Peter Obi's homecoming. Let's see that video.
Anambra State, I silence you. Your Excellency, don't be offended. Mr. Peter Obi, have you seen your beautiful baby? Have you seen your tomato baby?
Well, I was hoping that the music will not end, but then Governor Wike's band, watch out, there's a new band in town coming for your crown. Well, away from bands and music, we move on to serious matters. Now, citizens, netizens on social media, especially Twitter, have been asking a very valid question. The governor of the CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, that we like to call Mayfi Baby, has not been seen in public for a while, and we don't know why. The last we heard was that the DSS was looking for him. You know, there was some back and forth about some court saying, okay, you can't arrest him, and the DSS saying, yes, we want to arrest him for links to terrorism. So let's see what the people on social media are saying. That's a picture of the governor of the central bank, Murphy Baby. Where's Murphy Baby? Where's Murphy Baby? Murphy Baby. Where's Godwin Emefiele? So let's see how people are asking that question on social media. The questions from Adewale. Adewale says, how long is it lawful for the CBN governor to stay away from his office? Is our CBN governor still on the run from Secret Service? That's from Kami. And Dam says, is the VP also on the run with the CBN, or where's? That's true. Where's Professor Shibajo? We've not seen him in many days, in many weeks. And the next comment is from Daddy Mo. Well, Daddy Mo was responding to Senator Shehu Sani's tweet. This is the only country in the world where a central bank governor can have the backing of the president and still be on the run. And Daddy Mo says, where is the CBN governor, though? Why are we quiet about this? The head of the country's treasury is either missing or on the run. How is this possible? Ninjana Cruz, they play, just they play. Next comment is from Okola Onlekan. It says, is our CBN governor back to his seat? I want to do from A whole CBN governor went AWOL and nobody is saying anything. Nigeria, my country. Again, Okola Onlekan says, if you think it is only mid-level Nigerians that are relocating, you are wrong. Our CBN governor don't jackpot. Baba is seeking asylum as admissions have closed when their situation demands urgent relocation. That's from Okola Onlekan. Next comment is from Aim the Machine. One thing I could never understand is why the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, is on the run. I mean, I could understand if a snake or monkey swallowed 89 trillion naira, but why is he on the run like the media wants us to believe? Why is the president and presidency silent? Al-Kebulan, Uche Classic says, worst CBN governor we've ever had, with crass mismanagement of funds and massive economic sabotage. He's running the CBN as one-man business. The next comment is Ozo Ada says, Nigeria's debt is now 77 trillion naira, and your CBN governor is on the run without explanation. Don't vote anyone because it's from your tribe or religion. Vote wisely come next month. Next comment is from Ekuleku. What's happening here? Ekuleku says, new notes we no see. CBN governor we no see. What exactly is happening in Nigeria? The last comment on that story says from an unofficial CBN, that CBN governor Godwin Emefiele is still on his annual leave, which was indeed approved by President Buhari. Ignore internet reports that he's AWOL. As head of the CBN, his work actually does not really stop. He officially resumes next week. Then these are the hashtags there. It's many hashtags. Back to our other story. Away from Godwin Emefiele, we hope that he shows up really soon. We told you at the beginning of the program that there was the unveiling of a new band in Anambra State yesterday, but that was because former governor of the state and presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, was coming home. So let's show you some pictures and some comments from Peter Obi's homecoming yesterday. The man went home to hold his campaign. You can see that video there. We'll take a listen to the video shortly. Well, if you're wondering who it was in that black overall hijab, that's Aisha Yesufu, foremost human rights activist. And so very quickly, we'll move on to our comments. We see Anatu Green says, Anambra State people don't come again. Peter Obi and Dati Ahmed have become the first humans to have their own personalized masquerades. Somebody should help me check Soludo and Arthur Eze's BP. Obidati 2023 in Aoka. The next comment is from Sports Doctor. The best governor in the history of Anambra State is back home. And you think the people of Anambra won't lock up their shops and shut down the state for him? You are joking. Soludo and Arthur Eze, we know the people are solidly behind Peter Obi. Next comment there is from Chief. Says Soludo scammed Obi of Onitsha, another traditional ruler, so Atiku could meet with them and take pictures for optics. The Obi and other traditional rulers have endorsed their own son, Peter Obi. Atiku and Soludo. Next comment is Anatu Green. Says someone just posted that Peter Obi's mother, Senta, looks younger than Tinubu. This is a reported speech. The presidential campaign has entered Year 10 in Anambra State. Is Soludo still breathing well? Our next comment is from Sugar. It says, I laughed at people that said Peter Obi can't garner vote from SE, that's the Southeast, and that Soludo is not supporting PO will make him not win. You guessed right, that's a big fallacy. We would come out en masse and vote enormously for PO in February. Say no to Con and Mikano. Next comment is from Makize, a town hall different from Bala Blue. Soludo, come outside. My people are in Anambra. Come and fight us. This is Peter Obi in his ancestral state, where a mad professor took a temporary command. Anambra is highly obedient. Engineer Kingsley was advising the Anambra people there, says, dear Anambra people, it is better to have the president from your state than to wait for a Soludo who's here to prove his capacity as governor. Nigerians have shown massive love for Peter Obi. He's your son. Prove to the world you're for him at Onitsha today. He deserves it. The other comment is also from Sports Doctor. Says, Anambra made a huge statement today. Anambra came out to support their own today. Anambra people made it clear that Arthur Eze and Soludo doesn't speak for them. This is a proper coming for His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi. Max of Africa is our last comment. Says, obedient at sending a strong message to Soludo, Arthur Eze and allies in Oka, Anambra. Wangbafo committed a political suicide the day he chose to fight the grace of God. The people's choice, Peter Obi. But that's all we have for you on the show this morning. You can follow me on Twitter at EMUjadigele. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Wednesday. Do stay safe.
Turn it up. It's the Wild Wild West.